100 years ago, on Sunday, June 24th, 1923, the First Methodist Church in Madisonville took a significant step toward its growth for the 20th century and beyond when members of its congregation laid the cornerstone for its new location on the corner of East Center Street and South Scott Street. For roughly 85 to 90 years, the Methodist Church in Madisonville had been located on South Main Street, near Broadway and just north of the Morton House. But the growing congregation needed a larger building in which to meet. The membership had literally overflowed the little church on South Main. Sunday school classes had to meet in the sanctuary, with classes located only a few pews apart. The teenage boys cleaned up an area in the furnace room so they could meet in peace and quiet. The teenage girls met in the choir area. The Wesley Brotherhood class for adult men was so large that it had to meet in the YMCA building across the street, and then later in the courthouse, and eventually in the Garrick movie theater. The Susanna Wesley class for adult women had to relocate to the Masonic Temple across the street and next to the YMCA, and other adult classes met in nearby homes. When Reverend J.W. Weldon came to Madisonville as pastor, he appointed a building committee, and in 1921, plans for the new church building on Scott and Center Streets were drawn. The lot where the church and parsonage now stand cost $5,250, and before it housed our church, it was home to a skating rink known as the Garden. At the laying of the cornerstone in June of 1923, the oldest member of the congregation was Professor J.J. Glenn. A newspaper man by profession, he wrote A History of Madisonville Methodism, 1828 to 1923, and this account was placed inside the cornerstone along with other items of value. In his newspaper article about the laying of the cornerstone, he called it a banner day for the Methodist Church at Madisonville. There were so many people who attended the ceremony for the cornerstone that the morning services were held at the Garrick Theater. Over the last 100 years, the church building has served not only as a holy place of worship, but also a shelter for refuge, a home base for missions, and a place of giving one's life to Christ. With God's help and direction, may this building, whose cornerstone was laid 100 years ago, continue to serve as a home for His children and be a place where Christians can live out the Great Commission by making disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.